So I started out riding when I was 18, I think 18, on a 07 ZX6R. Great first bike to anybody that's wondering. My parents didn't really, well, nobody in my family really wanted me to start riding. They were kind of scared, but they got over it fairly quickly. Great bike. Didn't really do a whole lot of modification to it. Did a little handmade custom exhaust thing, basically a $10 tip from AutoZone, and welded it on. Got rid of the ugly, nasty, super silent stock muffler, and that made a huge difference. Did a LED underglow kit, which looked okay. Not really into the whole LED thing anymore, but when you're 18 years old, first bike, you just kind of roll with it. After that, I rode a 2007 GSX-R 1000, which kind of turned out to be a lemon. Brakes didn't work, forks kept leaking, the oil was leaking all over the bike. I replaced numerous parts trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and I couldn't figure it out. Great bike, good power. It was definitely a step up from the ZX6R, but it didn't really feel like enough to me. So after that, I think it was 3 years ago now that I had that bike. I had sold the ZX6R to a kid back home, and then I bought that Gixxer, and then I sold the Gixxer to a buddy after buying a 2015 BMW S1000RR. Basically full build. It was a full aero competition exhaust, Brentoon stage 2. I think there was a stage 3 available, but I never did that. Super awesome bike. That had been my dream bike forever. From the first time that I saw one, that's what I wanted to ride. I said, I saw it, and I'm like, I have to have that bike. 100% have to have that bike. So I bought one, and I never thought I would sell it until I walked into a dealership one day with a buddy who was bike shopping, and this one, the 2020, was sitting on the showroom floor, not claimed yet. So I said, well, I guess. So I posted it for sale, the 15. I posted the 15 for sale. Got a couple bites. A lot of people were lowballing. You know, you get offers at $8,000–9,000 bucks. Not really worth selling at that point, and I felt like the bike was worth a lot more. But I did end up selling it to a guy that actually lives like a mile from my house. I do miss it. It's really weird seeing it and it not being mine, but had to upgrade. I didn't have to upgrade, but I did. And then now, 24 years old, I bought a 2020 S1000, and this one is a full build. So I've got the windscreen, the exhaust, the fender eliminator kit, Brent tuning stage 2, sprint filter, and it's a fun bike. It really is. The exhaust is a little bit obnoxious. I think I should probably order a second slip-on. So I am 24, originally from North Dakota. Just moved down to the Minneapolis metro the end of last year, 2019. I like it so far. It's not been bad. It's definitely a big change from back home. Coming from a town of 60,000 people to, you know, in between 3.5 and 4 million people. It's a big difference. I've always been curious on the whole YouTube thing and how that goes, and you never know. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe you guys will like the stuff that I put out and enjoy watching these videos. Definitely have a lot coming in the future. Just kind of waiting on the weather to be a little bit more consistent. I mean, today it's 70 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour wind. It's not terrible. But I did not go to school. I really didn't enjoy the first 12, 13 years of school. I absolutely hated homework in school. To be honest, I barely graduated because my homework was basically 0 all the way across the board. I wouldn't do the homework. I'd take the test, ace the test, and I literally barely graduated. It came down to like 2 days before graduation. But I did, and here I am. I know I said that I was going to record a long time ago. I've been promising people Instagram and Facebook that I'd get this first video out like 2 weeks ago. But with weather going on, it hasn't been the nicest. I mean, there's been a lot of nice days. To be honest, I just kind of put it off. I wasn't, you know, I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about and try and get used to talking to myself. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's just a trial and error thing. You know, it's going to be one of those things that I just have to do it, get used to it, get comfortable doing it, figure out how to just maintain a conversation with myself, which isn't the easiest by any means. It's a lot easier, you know, talking to somebody else. You've got the feedback coming that you can, you know, maintain a conversation with. But I've grown up watching a lot of different YouTubers, and it's been a dream of mine to do that, you know, and get up and do what you love every day. Not saying that I don't, you know, at least somewhat enjoy doing drywall. I don't know, there's just something about making content to what I want it to be and making the viewers like happy about it. I mean, that's 100% what my goal is, would be, you know, make content that people enjoy, and if you enjoy it, I'll keep doing it. I don't understand why it always has to be windy. The days where there's no wind, it's 50 degrees and raining, but as soon as you get beautiful sunshine, the wind blows 15 miles an hour and just makes it not very enjoyable. What's up, geese? Oh, there's more geese. Oh, there's little baby geese. Oh. Maybe I should head over to the lake, see what's going on over there. People watch a little bit. There's usually like parents out with their kids on their pedal bikes, and I absolutely love making the kids smile when I go by. They wave at me and give them a little rev and a wave back, and I think it just makes their day. It makes my day to see kids enjoying what I enjoy also. You know, maybe one day they'll grow up and see these videos. Maybe they'll see themselves on the video. Who knows? That'd be awesome. I would love that. I'd love to meet people that enjoy watching the content that I make. I actually didn't even know how to ride when I bought my first bike. I had to have a buddy of mine pick it up. He rode with me over to the guy's house that I bought it from, and he rode it into a parking lot, and I just rode in circles for like an hour. Did like 30 laps around the building one way, 30 laps around the building the other way, and I'm like, yes, I can do this now. And my first ride, I went from that parking lot to a restaurant. We got some food, and I dropped it in the parking lot when we were leaving, and it was super embarrassing, but everybody does it. Don't feel bad if you do. If especially your first bike, you know, it wasn't an overly expensive bike, it was a starter bike, and it was good. I'm glad that I got that out of the way before buying something expensive. I gotta stop and check this camera battery. Oh, I got about half. I think we're good for a little bit. Missed call from Holden McGreevy. Holden, if you see this video, you should have stayed down here this week. It was really windy yesterday, but we went to the cruise up there, and there was a lot of cool cars, a lot of cool bikes, a lot of cool people. Food truck that had boneless wings that were on point for like $8. I actually got pulled over on the way to that cruise. So, story time. We met a bunch of people. There was like 30 of us, okay? This cruise is like 45-ish minutes from where we're at. I don't have a license plate on this bike. DMVs are closed. I can't register it. So, getting off the highway, I'm up in the front. There's like 3 bikes with me up front, and all of a sudden all these bikes are coming up, they're passing me. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And one of them patted his helmet, saying that there was a cop. I'm like, okay, where was the cop at? I didn't see a cop. And then I look in my mirror when I stop at the light, and there's a state patrol that like damn near hit my back tire with his bumper. So he pulls me over at the light after cutting off like 20 people to make the off ramp. He flips the lights on. I'm coasting off. I hit the kill switch, so I'm coasting off the road, you know, going like 5 miles an hour, just coasting to a stop on the shoulder of a busy road. It's 3 lanes both directions with a speed limit of like 65. So I mean, there's cars flying by, right? So I get pulled over. I stop after he rides his car right next, like this far away from the bike, cuts in front of me, and then gets out of the car screaming, "Why the hell didn't you stop?" Well, the rest of the bikes that I was with also stopped on the shoulder. So I told him, I'm like, "I thought you were pulling over the whole group." And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that. I'm just one officer. I can't pull over 20, 30 bikes." I'm like, "Sure you can. I've seen it done plenty of times. Especially since people are decent and don't always run. Just because you probably had people run from you in the past doesn't mean I was going to, doesn't mean anybody else was going to." So, "What's up, brother?" So he pulls me over. Gets out of the car, screaming at me. What happened then? Sorry, I got complete brain fart moment right now. So he asked me why I don't have a license plate. And I told him, well, DMV is closed. Can't get a license plate. I have to bring the origin paperwork into the DMV to get a title printed. And he's like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't be riding it then." And I'm like, "Dude, it's not my fault that the state's shut down and I can't go and get a plate for it. And I don't think anybody that had just bought a brand new bike would not ride it, whether it's registered or not. I'm not encouraging anybody to break the law, but it's, you know, we just had 6 months of winter and terrible weather, and it's finally nice out. Obviously, I want to get out and ride it and enjoy it. The state could be closed down for who knows how long. I mean, it could not open up until August. Am I supposed to just let it sit in the garage, not being ridden until August? Like, I don't think so." So he gets back in the car with my license and whatever, and insurance. I showed him the insurance. And he had made a comment to me about, "So are you gonna call a tow truck or am I?" And I'm like, "Well, let me see if I can find somebody that can come and pick it up so that I don't have to pay an astronomical amount to get it out of impound or wherever they would have taken it." So I'm standing there on the side of the highway. The whole group that I was with went and stopped at the gas station across the street. And I called one of the guys that was over there. Super good friend of mine. And he, without a doubt, was going to ride up to his house, grab his car and his trailer, and come and pick the bike up for me. So he left. He was on his way up there. And then I remembered, wait a second, I could get a dealer plate. Since the one that I had on here, it only had 2 screws in it. And what is this situation? It only had 2 screws in it, so it flew off in the wind, the one that came on it. So I needed a new one, so I sent a message and I said, "Hey, can I get a new plate for this? Just a dealer plate, so I, you know, stop getting messed with about it." And he texted me back. He's like, "I'll do you one better." He said, "I'll write you a temp tag." So I now have a temp tag with a $400 ticket to pay that I should hopefully be able to get out of. And yeah, so the cop left after giving me my stuff back. He's like, "I'm not going to impound your bike. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that it's not stolen." I'm like, "Dude, no shit, it's not stolen. I bought it brand new from the dealership." And so he went on his way anyway. So I waited there and waited. And then 2 of the guys from the actually 3 of them. Yeah, 3 guys from the gas station came over and they were just hanging out with me. and 2 of them left, bless their souls. They made the 45-minute ride from where we were to the dealership to pick up the dealer plate and the temp tag and ride it all the way back to me. And I now need to find somewhere to switch batteries. Check in with you guys in a minute. Well, I think it's time to go home. It's been a long day. I think I probably put on 200 miles, 250 miles today. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Remember, if you liked the video, give me a like, leave me a comment for sure. Okay, Goose, really? Screwing up my outro? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you ride. If you like what you saw, smash the subscribe button. There's going to be plenty of stuff coming out in the future. Just stay tuned for more. I really, really appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.